What's up, guys? Matt Ledbetter with the House of Folk Art. We are back and we're going to introduce you to what really goes on behind the scenes at Ledbetter Auctions. So what happened was last week the client brought roughly 400 pieces of pottery, and our job is to unbox it, unpack it, sort it. So what we got here is all the salt glaze. Starts with the signed salt glaze, and remember what you do is you spin it around and you find that signature. So right here we got a J.F. Brower 1 gallon, right? Signed salt glaze pottery. But all this pottery came in mixed up, mixed matched. So what we're gonna do now is unload round 2, and we want you to be a part of that here at the House of Folk Art. So a little behind the scenes action at Ledbetter Auctions. Round two. All right, let's do it. Holy moly. I can smell it. Oh, Box City. All right, here it comes. Once you get that strap, it looks like
that's a sophisticated one.
Yeah, it's good. Nothing wrong with that. Got a little Catawba Valley going on in here. Always get a warehouse with steps. I don't think it's gonna go like this. The goal, what I try to do, let's get it all unloaded. Let's get it unloaded, let's get them out of here, because the client, they don't wanna stay here for 4 hours. See, I like to unbox them. I like to unbox it while I walk in. Hey, sir. Will you go open that? Thank you. I'm gonna change this up a little bit because. Yeah, and it's mostly so. In a perfect world, it's self-taught art, outsider art, and folk pottery. But what comes along with that is Americana. So like a good 1860s 2/3 chest of drawers with bracket feet, right? Locally made. And then the old pottery comes along with it. Yeah. You know, corner covers, hump boards, baskets, really good, you know, oak split baskets. So it's almost like specializing in self-taught art, outsider art, folk pottery, but then also Americana and Southern pottery. And if I could keep it there, I would, but I end up getting things like shitty chairs.
So you want me to back up over here?
Yeah, maybe just get square, and then about right here, I'll open the doors and let you keep backing up. So that's a good question. Like, what do we want to auction? Because it's like being in the real estate business. I don't want to sell every house. You know, there might be houses that just aren't fit for me. I don't want to sell a $60,000 house. I want to stay in that $820,000 range. Well, same thing with auctioneering. I would have to ask myself, do I want to spend my week photographing costume jewelry? Because I could either spend my week photographing Southern pottery, or I could spend my week photographing costume jewelry. All right, right there. And so in the auction business, that is a real situation. Unlock.
Watch out, it'll pop off.
This van is fancy. The door will pop off?
I think mine pop off.
Wait, the actual door?
Yeah,
That must have been surprising.
All right, let us unload the top real quick. Hold on. So I think we're looking at another 300 pieces of pottery. So that's,
yeah.
more importantly, another 200 boxes. And it's like a mystery Christmas. It's like a, what do you call it when you do the Santa, Secret Santa? All right, I'm gonna back him up now. All right, just go slow. You got about 6 foot. All right, keep coming. You still got about 5. Let's go. All right, you're getting to about right here.
We're good. That's good. We need
All right, that's good. That's good. Yeah, don't push that too far.
Yeah, that would be good.
So here, what we're doing now is we are just unloading this as fast as possible. So then we'll take it from here into the main gallery. We'll get in our mojo groove in a second. Really?
Ethan unpacked this whole van.
Oh, that's not true.
What do you mean?
That's not true, bro. I was here for a lot of it. I take care of customers, bro. That's my job. Taking care of customers.
I got video proof. He unpacked the whole van.
All right, so this really didn't take but what, 20 minutes? Seriously, like, I mean, stopwatch it. I guarantee you it's 11:05. It's 11:17.
What do you mean? I'm just laughing because Ethan did it all.
I know. Well, I mean, somebody's got to do it. I did what I could.
You just like come back from the other room. Hey, this didn't take too long. Nice.
To me, of course, I like it all. That's how I ended up with it.
Yeah. That's a nice looking jug. That's probably a bass. Probably a Nelson bass. Somebody would look at that trick. They'd probably say, Mac Leonard. Oh, that's a Mac Leonard. That's a real pot.
I was hoping you could say that.
Do you know? Yeah, well, see, I know, I got so much information I done forgot, but I have a feeling that handle, the square handle, I think somebody was like, that's a Mac Leonard. You see that square handle?
Any hand carved stuff like that?
Yeah, I like hand carved stuff. Absolutely, folks. We absolutely sell these. It's pretty cool. Now the trick is to find out who it is and see about 50 of them in one space. Then you get an idea of the artist behind the piece. The artist behind the piece. This is like in reverse order. So this collection you brought us, is it like a 20 or 30 year thing
About
for you?
40 years.
40?
Yeah.
Wow.
I started going to auctions when I was about 8 or 10 years old. Of
Oh,
course, I
wow.
didn't have any money,
Right.
but as it went on, I'd just pick up pieces that I liked and drag them home.
Awesome. But so as a living, I call you a living consignor, right? And as opposed to like an aunt dying and then the niece calling saying, we got 500 pieces of pottery, we need you to come pick up. As a living consignor, did you keep the best of the best? Like, are there pieces that you want to die with that like you don't, is that how, like, tell me more about that.
I kept a few pieces that I like to decorate with. Not
Yeah.
necessarily the most valuable,
Right.
but something that appealed to me.
Got it.
I kept a lot of pieces that I knew the family. You know, I'd put their name on the bottom, things like that.
So, yeah.
But not necessarily the most valuable.
So sometimes the story about the piece is
Absolutely.
better than the money, and that's why you
right.
kept it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I believe that too. I mean, I think,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, I've got many things like that. Not necessarily the most valuable, but the story of me getting it, how I picked it.
Where it came from,
Yeah.
the history of it, you know. I might have known the family, or I might just like the look, you know, the runs, the
Right.
glazes, you know, something that I keep a few for the house, but not necessarily the most valuable.
Yeah. Do you remember the day you got your first piece of pottery? Is that a possibility?
I really don't. Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah.
You remember the days you get the really, really good pieces,
Yeah.
but
Right.
No.
What's the most expensive piece you ever picked or got lucky on?
a JCM piece that's, I'm afraid that's not in this, but it was
Right,
a
right.
presentation piece.
Oh, wow.
And I found it at a farm sale up in Elkin, North Carolina. And I kept it for several years, and I sold it to a guy who did some research, and it was sold a couple of years ago for a lot of money.
Big money.
Big money.
And so JCM was a mystery for a long time because Dan Siegel made the pottery and then stamped it JCM for a merchant. That was a story, but what do you know the real story now? Has it come out?
It did come out. It was a presentation piece, and you could read on it. It was written the day after, but I could never read the last word, what it was after. And it turned out to be after the election, I think.
Oh, wow.
And I can't remember the date, maybe 1832 or 1837.
Did we ever find out who JCM was though? Or is it still?
This gentleman, when it was sold last, they said they knew who it was. I assume
wow.
that's who.
Well, we'll have to dig into that. Because there was a lot of JCMs that turned up with my dad back in the 80s and 90s, and it was just, oh, it's a merchant for Dan Siegel, because they looked like Dan Siegel's. It looked like he turned them.
Yeah.
But really good piece of pottery there.
1837. And it was, I think they said it was the earliest signed piece of Catawba Valley pottery that they had found
That would be really
thus
early.
far.
So did Billy sell that, or who got to sell that one?
I sold
Or was
it to,
private?
I sold it private sale.
I got you.
And where was it sold last? I mean, it's sold. That's a picture of it there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was sold at Billy's. 22,000. Nice.
Surely can be.
J.C. Michael. Huh. See, Billy gets John Conrad Michael. See, I didn't even know they identified JCM. Maybe that's a different JCM. I don't know. That's awesome though.
But
Good, congrats.
He had the large initials on it.
Yeah.
And what
Wow.
magazine was this in?
I think that was Billy's catalog because it says
that
Hussey.
was in Maine Antique
Oh, the Man
Digest.
Okay, got it.
And I think that's where I picked your ad up first. I
Maybe.
believe.
So is that how you found out about us? That's cool.
Yep.
need to
But
get
I
back
met
with
you
that.
at Liberty
Right.
at
Just
the Antiques
kinda
Festival.
talking, running
yeah,
your mouth,
but
yeah.
I kept seeing the ads in the Maine Antique Digest.
well, good.
So that's how we sort of ended up here.
That's awesome, man. Well, I really appreciate
I appreciate you
and
selling
we're
it
gonna
for me.
get it done. Yep.
Look forward to it.
Awesome.
I hope the people that end up with it enjoy it as much as I have.
They will. They will.
Yeah.
And you know, with collectors like us, you know, the first 20 you decorate with, and then the next 300 ends up in a closet or.
That's right.
So it's good to let it breathe.
That's
and
right.
That's the term. Let's let this stuff
Yeah,
breathe.
it's
And
time to thin the herd.
it might be somebody's number one.
I hope so.
You know. So.
Thanks a lot.
All right, man. See you next time.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
You saw all the boxes we unloaded. We have a tremendous amount of pottery to unbox. And this is how it happens, folks. We don't have robots that work here. We have to do all the work ourselves. Ooh la la. Now this I like. That I like. I don't think we should make piles yet, but now this is proven to be a nice little box. That's a little New England jug. Don't get this confused with Piedmont, North Carolina salt glaze. This is a New England piece of pottery. Nothing wrong with that, but it's a very different piece of pottery. Very different.
Bye.
See you, Sully. So this is a piece of salt glaze pottery, but it's what we call contemporary new. This is an old salt glaze piece, and so what we're going to do here is check for signatures. We want to check around the rim. It can be stamped on the rim, and then we want to check around the body. And you got to look pretty good because especially if you don't know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you will miss a signature, and you don't want to do that. Some of the biggest scores I hit at antique shows is signed pieces of pottery, and people didn't even know it's signed. I paid $60 one time for a salt glaze pitcher. So it was like this, it was salt glaze, and I was spinning it around, I saw the signature, I said, how much is this? He said 60, boom. Walked 20 yards to my booth and sold it for $900 in about 30 minutes. So, especially if you're a dealer, you really need to know what you're doing when you work with pottery. All right, so that was box number one. Let's go with box number two. What you don't want to do is cut yourself with the razor blade.
Sorry, I thought I broke my phone.
No, not you. Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? Neither do I. But I almost cut my finger off. This is really cool. What in the hell? Plotware pottery rooster. Now see, this is the piece that, like, if you're asking me, the answer to it is no. I don't know anything about this. But look how freaking cool that is. Look how freaking cool that is. Do you know how good that's going to look in a photo? Contemporary pottery. I mean, we've got $100 worth of boxes.
Did you say you got $100 worth of boxes? You can't lose.
So this is another piece that I would never, if somebody sent me a picture of this, I get messages all the time. Is this something you would sell? If somebody sent me a picture of this, I'd probably say no. But the fact that it came in with 300 pieces, I kind of like it. And this is something that I think could really bring some money. Look at that. For all you cat lovers out there, are you kidding me? I'm going to make that photo look so good, you're going to think this is $1 million. Pottery. So far we got a cat and a rooster.
Hey, are you making a joke?
No, what was it? Cat and a rooster joke? I never heard that. Contemporary coal. A little bit older coal. I have no idea. I gotta see what that says, but it's pretty cool. Here's another red bowl. Contemporary mixing bowl, throw that away. More pottery, throw away. You know I'm just kidding, right? That's a cool little jug. That's what happens when you collect just crazy odd and ends. Now that is cool. Look at that.
Yeah.
That is real cool. That picture is gonna look excellent. And what are we trying to do here? Well, little North Carolina Rebecca picture, circa 1970. That's probably made by J.B. Cole for the pottery up in Virginia. Little nothing piece of pottery. Sometimes when you buy pottery, and see, this guy probably bought collections out, but sometimes when you walk on a, this is cool. This is Kim Ellington. That's nice. Kim Ellington. It's almost like you need to know what not to buy, what to stay away from. Little jug, circa 1940. Jugtown. That came with a pinch bottle probably, or there should be about 20 more of those. And that's a cool little picture.
There's one more in there.
One more in there. That's actually a cool little thing. What is that? Hotel Metropolis Bruxelles.
Brussels?
Brussels? I don't know. No, it says X. So there's things called studio pottery, then there's things called good old North Carolina pottery. And so some of this stuff is studio pottery. Like this is studio pottery.
That's cool though.
This is an early, that's hand painted. So you really want to get smart and understand that somebody painted that on after the fact. It'll scrape off if you really scrape it. So it's not a slip decoration to the jar, which it would add value to it if it was. It's still an old jar. Studio pottery, but it's still pretty cool. Old brown jug, probably circa 1960. Same maker there, circa 1960. Got a pestle or a mortise. I don't know which one that is. I don't know what that is. And don't be afraid to say you don't know what that is. That's how you learn, man. But honestly, if I don't know what it is, it probably means that it's not good. All this is just random pottery. A lot of this is going to be sold together. This is a piece of Jugtown frog skin glaze. So this is a really cool piece right here. So this is stamped Jugtown ware, and they had different stamps, but I think This, it might have the Mickey Mouse ear on the handle. I'm not sure about that. But this is right out of it being stamped, Ben Owen Master Potter.
What is Jugtown?
Jugtown? Okay, so in 1912, Jacques Busby came to a piece of land in Seagrove, North Carolina, and he started a pottery shop, and he called it Jugtown, and he employed different potters. By 1960, M.L. Owens ran Jugtown for a while, and so the master potter, now I don't know if this was the first potter, but one of the first potters at Jugtown was Ben Owen Sr. And Busby went over to China, I don't know if he went to China, but he went somewhere and he saw a bunch of Chinese vessels. So there's M.L. Owens right there. M.L. Owens, born in 1916. Somewhere he went over and he saw some Chinese vases that he really liked, and that's why the early Jugtown from like 1920 is called Chinese blue, Chinese red, and it's like a little egg vase that looks Chinese. Williamsburg pottery. So that's what this is. So J.B. Cole was employed by Williamsburg Pottery to make, so this is Cole pottery made by J.B. Cole for Williamsburg Pottery. A lot of this is regional. Jugtown is regional. I mean, it's 40 minutes from where we live. So this is North State Pottery. And they have 3 different stamps.
I just think a lot of people probably don't know about like Jugtown and Seagrove being.
Yeah. Seagrove. So think about 1912. You got this entrepreneur. His name is Jacques Busby. Him and his wife, right? So they're like, oh, we know this thing about pottery. People aren't using pottery as much anymore for utilitarian purposes because it was the first quarter of the 19th century. So we have to attract people by making pretty pottery, nice pottery, pretty pottery to decorate with. So they went to the Chinese-influenced vases, and they employed, like I said, and all this is in books. Get a book. Get a book. Oh, my God. I'm about to crash out right now. If you've been watching this podcast, and I'm serious, do not cut this. If you've been watching this podcast now for a year, and you haven't bought you any books on pottery or folk art, I'm telling you now, that needs to change. You need to go and buy some books. That's how you learn. Now, I hope you're saying, Matt, calm down. I have bought books. My library is now growing. I mean, you can't learn anything without books. You're never going to learn. So go get a book and figure out what Jugtown is. I'm not talking about Jugtown anymore. First of all, because I don't know.
Well, can you just tell people that like aren't from this area that this is like a pottery epicenter in North Carolina?
If you're not from this area, this is a pottery epicenter in North Carolina.
You know what I'm trying to say.
All right, so listen. We are technically in Guilford County. But I'm right on the edge of Alamance County, baby. And in 1935, Henry Ford, you know the Ford car? In 1935, Henry Ford sent a picker to Alamance County. 1935. Hello, ma'am. I'm sitting down here by Henry Ford to screw you out of your pottery. And he was paying cash for slip decorated pottery from like 1770, 1780, 1790 that was made right here in Alamance County. So to say that we're in the epicenter, right, we're in the epicenter. This is where the started after it started in Pennsylvania and came down here. But Alamance County has very early roots. And then you go into Seagrove, which is 30, 40 minutes away. Seagrove is having a big benefit dinner this week, I think. So here's this is a transitional, this is transitioning into, this is about 1900 to 1920, and this is transitioning into out of utilitarian pottery at the last moment of utilitarian pottery. So this is not an 1860s piece. This is more like 1900, some of the last years that an old potter, you got to visualize a man who woke up, had to take his wagon down to the creek, dig the clay, take the clay back, push the clay through a machine to get all the rocks out of it, do whatever he had to do, a pug mill, whatever they call it, and then work with his hand to turn 100 of these pitchers because people needed it. Why do you need a pitcher? I don't know. You got to milk a cow and put buttermilk, and then you got to pour the buttermilk in something to pour the buttermilk out, right? Everybody needed a pitcher, but this pitcher was one of the last pitchers made for utilitarian use. And utilitarian use, look it up. I don't know the definition exactly. But it means you use it to live. You use it to work. It's a working piece of pottery. This is not a working piece of pottery. It is now, but this is like a contemporary, pretty cool piece of pottery, but it's not made to live off of. You could just as soon decorate with that. Vernon Owens. So here's a cool piece of Jugtown. 1997, and it's signed V.O. V as in Victor. In this case, V as in Vernon Owens. Get a book. Look it up. I shouldn't have to be telling y'all this. Vernon Owens. There's the mate. It's cooler to drink coffee with somebody. Be careful when you unpack pottery because I almost just cut my hand off.
You don't put this with its mate?
Yeah. I mean, this is a piece of contemporary studio art pottery. It literally almost sliced my hand off. I'm really upset about it. See, pottery can be so sharp that it can cut you. So you really want to be careful. All right, this is a really early jug. Piedmont, North Carolina. Is missing a handle. It's got some nice frog skin right there. You can call that whatever you want. Salt drip. Really cool piece of pottery. Is it worth a lot without the handle? No. It's a $10 to $15 to $20 piece of pottery. But who doesn't need a broken handle pottery sitting on their windowsill? Everybody needs one. Here's another coffee cup.
Oh, you're gonna have more friends.
One more. I got one more. 4 coffee cups. What are they gonna bring? Who the hell knows? $1, now 2, now gonna be 3, 4, 5, 5, gonna be 5, now gonna be 6, 7, 8, 9, gonna be 10. All right, you wanna unbox just a little bit more?
Sure.
All right, come on with me. Ethan, you wanna pull some of these out?
Let's do it.
All right, so what we have here is a piece, here, I'll hand it to you, Ethan. Okay. So this is a piece of Catawba Valley pottery, circa 1870. It's got some damage, and it is what it is. It's a good one to put canes and walking sticks in. Here, out of the same box, is a circa 1870 Piedmont, North Carolina, salt glazed jug missing a handle. Now, I don't know if you can see the difference here, but we got a green glaze, which is called Alkaline glaze, and we got a salt glaze, which is more of a grayish glaze. One is Western North Carolina, and the other is a little miniature jug. Looks like Kathy Richards, Lincolnton, North Carolina. Another little miniature jug, miniature advertising jug. On the verge of Indian pottery there. That's a little Kathy Richards jug. Fountain of Youth, St. Augustine, Florida. So that's circa 1950, 1960. That's a little turn and burn, looks like. That's Seagrove, North Carolina. And then we got another Kathy Richards. And at some point, you're able. All right, pick one out, and I'll talk about it.
Just go talk.
Oh, you want me to get you the thing?
Oh, I got it.
She's got it.
You got it? I'm gonna get the thing too.
And I hit Kyle.
Yeah, what you got?
Yeah. Stuff like that.
Oh my god.
What? Did I freaking miss the one?
What? Who's Lewis Miles? Owned by.
Oh my god. That's actually a really nice piece of pottery. This is Catawba Valley. It could be a donkel, probably not. Little underfired, overfired, I forgot what they call. But what you want to do, first of all, you want to take the microphone. You want to test the microphone. Hold a bit about 35 to 45 to 50. So if you ever bid calling and the microphone goes out, you just convert to a jar. But when you're looking for a stamp, you want to check the ears. A lot of Catawba Valley pottery is stamped right on the lug handles. Always check the rim. Another nice spot to be signed is under the handle. That's your key spots. And then on the shoulder, big stamp on the shoulder. And then you want to check those places, but then you also just want to kind of give it a look. You see a 2, but that don't mean anything. That's standard procedure there. And sometimes this glaze is so thick, it could run over the signature. Like right there, I doubt it, but you know, there could be a stamp and then it just runs over it. Anyway, unsigned piece of pottery, circa 1860, Catawba Valley, with nice runs. That's a great piece of pottery. All right, hand me that one right there. What is that? It looks like Virginia. Yep. So a classic Virginia jug here, salt glaze, stoneware, circa, I mean, this could go all the way back to 1850. And it's got the starburst stamp here with the 2. So I'm not really a man of many words for Virginia pottery, but it'll come to me in a second. Sometimes this stamp, instead of it having just prick marks, it'll actually say something, and it's not coming to my head what sometimes, like Strasburg, Virginia, it could be stamped Strasburg. But this is a nice early piece of pottery right here from Virginia. And Virginia, for the most part, is considered southern when you talk about pottery. I lied about that. It's not really considered southern. This is a cool piece. This is A.R. Cole right here. A.R. Cole. Who doesn't need an A.R. Cole sitting on the shelf? All right, this is an early piece of Jugtown. Here we go, folks. Ben Owen, Master Potter. He made us a hat. This is unbelievable. Hat making skills by Ben Owen, Master Potter. And you can see right here. So this is an early stamp. It should say Jugtown, but instead he said, you know what? I'm Ben Owen, the Master Potter. Now there's other people out there that'll tell you a lot more about that, but that's as far as I'm going to go with it. High plates, coal pottery. They say that one of the hardest pieces to make in the pottery industry is a bowl. This is called ruffled edge pie plate, crimped edge, ruffled edge, whatever you want to call it. Who really cares?
What do you think those will go for?
If somebody imprints on them, and if I make the picture look really good, and somebody imprint, what are they worth? It's art. So they're worth $100 a piece. What will they sell for? 20, 30, if we're lucky. And that's it. I mean, listen, I'm not making, as an auctioneer, I'm in this to make money. I'm in business to make money. I got a family to feed. I got things we want to do. In my situation, I'm not always going to get the $1 million piece of pottery. And yes, there are $1 million pieces of pottery out there. What would that be? Well, it would be a Dave Drake with a poem on it, 1.67 million, something like that. You know, a big tall jar with 4 blue decorated soldiers on it, $400,000. A Chester Webster, $25,000 to $45,000, a bird and fish piece of pottery. An Alamance County decorated sugar jar, $100,000. That's not this. And yeah, a lot of this stuff is $10, $20, $30 pieces, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Hate me for it. I don't know what to tell you. Get your asses on the computer and bid on it. Turn them into $50 pieces. You have the power, not me, baby. I just call the bids. If you don't bid, I can't take the bid. So if you want them to bring more than $30, bid. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's no reason why 10 people don't get on this and make it bring $70. Where are you going to get another one? You can't. A.R. Cole, I'm pretty sure A.R. Cole's dead. I don't know the history. I don't collect coal pottery. But this is really cool. This is an early piece of A.R. Cole. It's really nice. Start the bid out at $1. Dollar now $2, $2 pig, get a bit,
Yep.
get a bit, $2, get a bit, $3, get a bit, $4
Yep.
pig, get a bit, fine, get a bit, 10, 15, now get a bit, 20, get a bit, 25, 30, 35, 45, 55, now get a bit, 65, 75,
Yep.
80, now get a bit, 85, 90, $90 pig, get a bit, 90, get a bit, 100, get a 110, 10, get a 110, get a 110, get a 110, 1,000 in the back, now 1,100, now 12.
Oh, man.
Yeah, 1,200, now get a bit, 1,200, now get a bit, 12, sold them, $1,100 number. I thought you said 1,000. Started back at 15, sold $15 to number 2. You know, so it's a great piece of pottery though. All this pottery is, it's art. You got to understand how much work went into making this stuff, man. Digging the clay, finding the clay, digging the clay, getting the clay back to the homestead, to the pottery shop, processing the clay, getting the clay on the wheel, turning it into the piece, letting it dry firing it, glazing it, firing it again, cleaning up the firing, and then selling it. It's a lot of work that went into making pottery.
Do you have any idea how much survived?
Yeah.
You know, so when you fire a kiln, is it 75%?
Oh, no, they're
surviving,
going
or-
for, I mean, no, 100%. Yeah,
100%.
they'd have to mess up. It's called a disaster, a kiln disaster. Oh, that's a disaster. So yeah, I'm sure 2 or 3 pieces, if you got to imagine 2 pieces sitting in the kiln, and if something pops, if an explosion happens, a little explosion, the force might push a piece over, and then a piece comes out like this. I mean, that happens to Marvin Bailey. He was firing 6 or 7, why do we keep going back to that? He was firing 8 figurals, and they all fell together, and they came out stuck together.
Oh, that's kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and guess who's got that?
Marvin Bailey.
Matt Ledbetter. All right, yeah. So, no, I think the goal was to let every piece come out. So I don't, 1 or 2 maybe.
Yeah.
But I thought you were going with how many pieces. It depends on the potter's kiln. I mean, I think, and again, get into the books. Valley of Blaze is a great book because it shows Berlin Craig's kiln firings. It shows Steve Avey kiln firings. Mm-hmm. How many pieces can go in a kiln? Well, if the kiln's large, I would assume, 200, 300 pieces. And then, some of the kilns don't last forever. Mm-hmm. The kilns explode, or they have to build another one. And if it's all 1 gallon pieces, you can fit 200 or 300. If they're doing some 5 to 10 gallon pieces, then it's going to be less pieces of pottery come out. But that is a thing. Go help Steve Avey fire a kiln. And people do that because you got to stay with it. You got to throw the wood in, get it to a certain temperature, and then let it cook all night. I don't know much about that part. I never did that.
It's like making Brunswick stew.
Maybe.
It's a
Possibly.
all-day
I don't do
process.
that either. Although I can cook, but not Brunswick stew. But see, you got to understand me. I didn't grow up as a potter. I grew up as a picker. Duke Energy bill is due. City water sewer bill is due. Of course, we grew up on a well, so that was all Duke Energy. House payments due. Matt needs a new pair of shoes to play football. So Dad was going out picking. He was Monday morning. Ma'am, I'd love to go down in the basement. I'm sure you got some old pieces of pottery. He didn't give a shit how it got fired, how the kiln worked. Those questions, they didn't matter. What he cared about, I want this piece to be signed so I can buy my kid a pair of shoes. That's what it was about. That's how I grew up in it. Mm-hmm. So, when you tell me that a basket tie-off is called the Eye of God tie-off, I don't give 2 shits about that. I'm looking for a Shelton Sisters basket. I'm looking for a Mary Cosby basket. I'm looking for the best basket you've ever seen in your life because I've held it in my hands. That's the kind of baskets I'm looking for. The nitpicky, nitty-gritty, scientific explanations for things, you can tie yourself up in that if you want, but you're going to miss the bigger picture. Our job now is to unbox all this piece of pottery, right? And when we first unbox it, it's going to be mismatched. Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. So we're going to take it from looking like this, right? We're going to have many tables of this, and then we're going to make it look like this. Follow me. I mean, whether you like it or not, we're doing this to make money. Some of you guys are out there in the art world saying, oh, it's so cliche for you to talk about money. Money, honey. So now, here's the first load that came in. This is all the contemporary folk pottery. This is a great piece. So look how we got this stacked. Boom, 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 right? This is some great stuff right here. Then we've got our advertising vessels, our advertising jugs right here. We've got Baltimore, Maryland, I can't read, the Trisha. Then we've got the blue decorated pottery. And I'm really proud of this wall. This is all the salt glaze right here. So all of these came in the same type of situation from the same consignor. They were all boxed up in 200 boxes. We had to unbox them. Then we got to sort them. These have all been photographed. Every one of these has 4 to 5 photographs. Look at the drip, baby. Look at that. And it's signed, J.M. Hayes. This is such a sweet jug. Oh, Kyle, I cannot tell you how sweet this is. This is better than butter syrup. I mean, this is sweet. Yeah, it has a hairline. But you go find me a better drippy signed example of J.M. Hayes. And his signature is always weak. J.M. Hayes always has a weak signature. His signature was too big for the shoulder, so it never really pressed down in there. He had to like roll it, I would assume. It's always weak. These are some great ones. Look at this, M.W. Owens. That's a tough signature, buddy. M.W. Owens. That's before Ben Owen. That's before Jugtown. J.D. Craven again. J.F. Brower. J.D. Craven. Here's a J.D. Craven with a sunburst stamp. This adds tremendous value. That's called his sunburst stamp. It's very rare. J.D. Craven, very rare. J.F. Brower. E.S. Craven. This is super early. E.S. Craven. I believe that was J.D.'s uncle. A.C. Anderson Craven's brother. But again, guys, get into the books. Yes, rely on me for information, but also go beyond me. Go on Amazon right now and buy the book, Index of Southern Potters. It should cost you like $12. Index of Southern Potters. Go to Amazon and buy it. It is the Bible. All right. Also, I'm really excited because we haven't even shot our podcast today. And we're going to get into these walking sticks. We're going to talk about 160 walking sticks. Kyle, I don't think they understand what we go through. Guys, it took an hour and a half to set up today. Okay? We're not shooting this with a cell phone. Never have. The first day I met Kyle, he was like, let me come back and video. I was like, yeah, man, whatever. He gets out of his car with a $9,000 camera and a full-body gimbal. And I'm like, what is this dude doing? And then our friendship was born that day.
All right, just close this out. About like when you're posting this auction, what they can look for if they want to bid on any of the pottery.
Yeah, so if Kyle get off his ass and produce this video, you might get a chance to see the auction after this video, but more than likely, the auction already happened and this will just be a thing of the past.
When is the auction?
I don't know yet. Probably December. I mean,
I'll post this in probably 2 weeks.
Maybe after 2 weeks. Depends on what goes on. But
what do you think you'll call these auctions so they can look them up?
Well, just the best thing, if you really want to glue into us, you need to check ledbetterauctions.com every 3 days. Because I am routinely putting auctions up that only stay up 48 hours. And we do that so our Monday Night Outsider, let me explain this real quick. Do you mind?
Just turn around this way because I'm shooting into the light.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
So here at Ledbetter Auctions, we do this phenomenon called the Monday Outsider. And this is what I'm envisioning. Everybody wakes up from Sunday and they say, oh God, it's Monday. Oh wait, Ledbetter's Monday Outsiders tonight. Oh, do the Monday dance, do the Monday dance. The Monday Outsider, that's what it's supposed to do. Who cares if you got a case of the Mondays? Because at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you can glue into the Ledbetter Monday Outsider. That's what it's all about, folks. And we're trying to push out 20 to 50 lots every Monday just to feed your soul, because I know that this folk art stuff is really cool for you. Listen, I've always been a fan of this. If I love something, there's a million other people that love it. And I believe that there's a million people that love what we do. So I'm just trying to give you a weekly fix on what we do. And I may have released all of my energy during that dance.
Yep.
I'm really tired. It got me breathing hard.
Let's go find your dad.
Let's go find my dad. What's up, Wade?
You're just a scatterbrain. You told me to go over to your house.
I did. I told him to go. I never told you it was here. See, he don't. My dad doesn't know that we just unloaded 200 boxes of pottery. I want to see what he says about this pottery. Wade Ledbetter has just entered the building, and we're going to put his picking skills to the test. So, Dad, you just walked up on a yard sale, and take this serious. You just walked up on a yard sale. How are you doing here? I'll be the yard sale man. And I don't know anything about pottery. Boom, you just came.
Yeah. What do you want for a whole table full, fella?
Oh, man, I ain't thought about that.
Well, I'll think about it. Have I got competition here now? I'm here first, fella.
Well, you get in the first part of the line then. I'll come make the second offer.
The more the merrier, guys. I mean, I got to sell this stuff, man. I mean, it's got to go. I mean, I can't take it back in the house.
$50 for all of it.
50 for all of it. That's a good offer.
Not good enough.
Not good enough to get it, is
No.
it? About 150.
150.
Guess if we want to sell it cheap.
What, do you want to make an offer, sir?
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to calm down and then
Oh, I'm
figure
calm.
where we
you know.
get into it, you know. I was thinking maybe 2 1/4.
225?
Yeah.
250.
250. Hey, Mom! Mom! Meatloaf!
So let me understand this, sir.
Yes.
You're now offering $250 for something that 2 minutes ago you offered $50 for?
I have to think it out.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm just going to
I'll
hold
give you
it.
400.
Sell it to him.
I'm just going to hold everything back. You guys, nothing's for sale. I'm going to call Ledbetter Auctions. I'm going to call Ledbetter Auctions. That was looking